Due to the nature of this program, listener aggression is advised.
This is Chris Broderick with the Fever 333.
Pusillus Maximus from Guard.
This is Eric from Necrogoblicon.
Hey, this is Jamie from Bullet My Valentine.
Hey, you got Dimebag's Hack.
I do a million interviews, and you guys know how to have fun.
What's up? This is Sam Rivers.
And this is Damon from Sleep Killers.
What's up, guys? It's Dorothy.
Hi, I'm Todd.
And I'm Frank from Slash featuring Miles Kennedy and the Conspirators.
This is Stephen Brewer from Westfield Massacre.
This is Joe from Dead.
This is Tommy Vex from the Bad Wolves.
This is Ivan from Disconnected, and right now you're listening to Honest. Motherfucker.
What's up, everyone? This is Stephen Brewer from Westfield Massacre, and you're listening to Honest Brutality.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Honest Brutality. This is the show that is all things rock, metal, and stuff that doesn't suck. I'm your host, Evil, and I'm joined by my co-hosts.
This is Big Sloppy.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Camera Rebel.
We have a special guest on the line today. We've been trying to track this band down for a little while and finally nailed them down, brought them on the show, and I'm really excited.
Yeah, they're so elusive.
I know. Well, it's probably because they're out massacring people. Slaying them with their music.
Yeah, right?
Absolutely.
On the phone, we have Stephen Brewer from Westfield Massacre. Welcome to the show.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Thanks for having me today.
Yeah, thank you.
We're really looking forward to this conversation. We have been chasing you guys for about a year and a half now. We've been intrigued by your music, and now you guys put out a new album, and this was just like the opportune time. Let's get these guys on here and have some fun. Mm-hmm. So this really is an honor for us.
Cool, yeah. I mean, I'm here. Let's hang. Let's have a good time.
Right on.
I like your attitude. We'll see how you feel at the end of this.
So, Steven, where should we start here, man? I mean, obviously you want to promote the new album, but the band has a pretty storied history for a band that's only been together for, what now, 3 years?
Yeah, I guess like 2015 is when it originally was like conceived and formed, yeah.
So there's 3 members, you and 2 others, that sort of formed this back in 2015.
The band actually originally existed. Our former lead singer, Tommy Vex, he had the band. They went through some lineup changes themselves before the first record even came out. And then myself, Dio Brito, and Eric Tysinger, who's a drummer and the bass player, and Eric also plays guitar, like in the studio and stuff. And we joined, I want to say, maybe like this time, 2015, sounds about right.
Okay.
And then the debut record, we kind of helped to finish and complete and add some songs to the debut record. And then that came out in 2016. So yeah, I mean, we've been in the band for, I guess 3 years now. Sounds about right. And then, I think the band was around for like the year before that, just trying to kind of get things together, which a lot of bands do that. You know, a lot of bands kind of go through a lot of kind of hashing out and sifting through people.
Right.
Yeah.
Or like, lineups or ideas or artwork or whatever it may be until you kind of find what you need. And somehow the 3 of us, and here, we're still here,
Yeah.
we work together. So here we are.
That's awesome.
You guys are going to get the award for the coolest drummer name with Dio Brito.
I know, right? Yeah. I remember when I first met you, and I loved you. I mean, he's such a great dude. I remember when I first met him, he's like, "Yeah, my name's Dio," and I was like Ronnie James. I mean, no one's not like, "Oh, you mean like something else?" Like, "Oh, Ronnie James," and instantly it was just like, "Okay, we'll be bros now."
That's amazing.
Yeah.
What is his nickname? Is it Dorito? I just need to know.
Dio Burrito. I think someone's called him Dio Brito one time. I mean, but he falls back. I mean, like he launches back at us, so it's all good. It's all brotherly love,
Good.
Absolutely. That's amazing.
That's what makes a band strong, is the way you beat each other up, man.
Exactly. We beat each other up all the time.
Yeah.
And we're all from so Dio and other guitarist Luis are both from Brazil. So we kind of crack on them about that. I'm from North Carolina, so they call me like the country bumpkin. And then Eric's from Massachusetts. And then Sean, our singer, is from California. So we're like, "Hey, what's up, surfer dude?" Because that's what a family does,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
It's good fun.
Are you guys all currently residing in Los Angeles?
All of us. Dio lives in Arizona right now. But he travels back and forth, and he's really cool about all that stuff. And because I mean, I guess it's not really that far. I want to say he's like in somewhere like in the Phoenix area, maybe something like that. But you know, bus, plane, or whatever it may be. I mean, he travels, and the rest of us are all right here in the LA area. Yeah.
Well, we won't hold that against you. Just so you know. And that had to be culture shock for you, coming from Carolina, right?
Ah, man, it was unique, you know. But I think it's like that for all of us, because like I said, I mean, the only person in the band that's from here is Sean. You know,
right.
He was literally raised in the music industry. You know, his father owned a recording studio, and his father worked with people in bands like, you know, ironically enough, Quiet Riot, Rat, and a bunch of other ones. I want to say his dad might even worked with like even Dio at one point. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But
you heard it here first.
Yeah. So Sean was just like raised in the music industry. So this is all that he knows. And this is his forte. And then myself and Eric and Dio and Luis all, you know, were, hey, like, let's get the resources we have in our area to put together a band. I mean, I came from a small town of like 20 some odd thousand. Dio and Luis both came from Brazil, and then Eric came from Massachusetts. So these aren't known for having, you know, big music scenes. I mean, of course, there's music scenes. There's always a local music scene, whether it's huge or kind of minuscule. But, you know, we all kind of put together what resources we had and said, okay, cool. Like, you know, then we made the trek to jump into the big pond of LA, and it's just like, holy shit, you know, grab a paddle. Here we go.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. And honestly, it's like, I wouldn't want it any other way, you know, and that's a good thing too, is that all of us are lifers. Myself, Sean, Dio, Eric, Luis, we're all lifers. Like, we're not like, well, you know, I don't really want to work at Ralph's, so maybe I'll try music. Like, it's like, no, this is what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck everything else, you know?
I love it.
Yeah.
And it's working for you.
Hey, I'm thankful. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you guys really work hard too. You guys are out there always grinding it out, doing a tour, popping out another album, and not letting adversity get in your way. Losing a vocalist is sometimes the thing that kills a band. And you guys just moved right on ahead. And I got to tell you, in my opinion, I think it's our entire show's opinion here.
Mm-hmm.
You made a really good move, a really good choice. It seems like an excellent fit.
Cool. Well, thank you very much. I mean, we're very thankful to have Sean, not only as a singer, but just as a team member. He across the board, he's a great guy, and we're really thankful to have him on board. You know, and that's really true. A lot of times, a vocalist, or say you lose a guitarist, say you lose like a main songwriter, it's kind of like, well, the main guy steering the ship is now gone. So you're just going to kind of go in a circle, you know?
Right, yeah.
We definitely had a lot of challenges. You know, because we had the whole thing with like trying to do a Kickstarter thing for the record. Then, of course, like, again, you know, our vocalist quit the band and he's moved on to things. And hey, when it's all said and done, we wish him the best. You know, we're not by any means trying to like wish bad on anyone. So we wish him the best and everyone involved in his camp. But, you know, it was an uphill battle for a while. And I mean, I remember like getting the record made, like the artwork and like, you know, how you expect like the digipack and all that stuff. I was like, we fucking did it. Like holding together, like, here we go. Like, I'm like, is it real? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
You know, one of those things. And it was a very surreal moment, you know, but we busted our asses and we're all very happy with it. And, you know, it's been a journey, but we have a lot of cool stuff that's really came to fruition in this last 30 days. So 2019 is just, you know, hey man, a lot of really cool stuff is about to happen. So we're really looking forward to that.
Yeah, I really think so. I think you might have a bit of a sleeper on your hands right now because you're doing really well with it as far as like the numbers on YouTube, Spotify. They're looking really good.
Yeah.
But I don't think people have really totally caught wind of how good this album is just yet.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, I think a lot of it has to do because, you know, we're still finalizing some tours for next year. And when I have more information, I mean, I'll definitely let you guys know. But, you know, it's like you said, like we have like 250,000 views on one of the promotional videos. Like we have a ton of followers on Spotify. It's just kind of one of those things where a lot of bands are discovered on tour as an opening act for like a bigger band, you know, like when we were on the road with Seven Us and Trivium, it's like, hey man, I never would have heard about you guys had it not been for me being at the show. Yeah. And in a lot of ways, it's kind of like the yin and the yang. Like, yeah, the internet makes it easy for people to stream you, Spotify, YouTube, iTunes, whatever have you. But then also being on tour, it's just another way for someone to discover you. And a lot of times, the people who are in an audience who are there, those are the ones who are hungry for it. They're not just like, okay, cool, another band, scroll, another band, scroll. They're like, okay, here's what I came here for.
Yeah.
Awesome, cool blast beats, ripping solo, awesome vocalists. That's what I want. I'll take it. You know?
Great point.
Are you booking your own shows, or do you have an agency trying to get you guys onto tours, helping you out with that?
Oh, our agent is Lynn with AFM Entertainment. So we signed with him a couple months ago, and we have a new manager now as well. So I mean, it's all coming together. All the Legos are being assembled correctly.
Right. So you're not having to reach out yourself and try to get onto a tour. You've got somebody actively trying to do that for you.
Correct. Yeah, we work with the agent management now, so that's all being worked out for next year.
Perfect. Good.
So now you said that you have a lot of things for 2019 coming along. Can you give us any details on that?
I can't.
Man.
I know. And
God damn it.
I won't give any 2-word answers, but I can't. I don't have a concrete to give you, so I don't want to just be like, hey, but no, So
we won't tell anybody. No.
We're just going to go out and say it. So on tour next year with the Avenged Sevenfold, Westfield Massacre, you're welcome.
Yeah, they're actually opening for us. So.
Bam.
Yeah. Nice.
I'm kidding. That'd be really cool to play with them.
That would be. I could see that. That'd be a good match, actually.
Yeah.
It would be, man. They're a great band. And Avenged Sevenfold was a band that took me a long time to get into. So when I was in high school, I graduated in 2010 is when I graduated. But I remember being in high school, like I would have like my Ride to Lightning like t-shirt and like my Trivium, whatever, and like my Iron Maiden and all that stuff. And people were like, check out this band, Avenged Sevenfold. And it never clicked. And now that I discovered them on my own, I'm like, these guys are fucking good.
Yeah.
Is it like that for you guys sometimes? Like when someone's like, hey, check out a band.
Yes.
This doesn't work. And then if you're like, hey, that's kind of cool. What band is that? Damn it.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, a lot of times bands that are very popular, I'm like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't get it. And then it's that weird eventuality. I'll fall into something and go, oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. You know what hit me like that was the band Ghost. I couldn't stand them the first time I heard them. I was like, I don't get it.
And I'm still there.
And it took me a while. And when I heard the song Cerise, that just hooked me. I was like, oh, well, these guys are actually kind of pretty good.
Yeah. It's funny because it feels like an obscure band. It's like, okay, cool. I can understand why I take time to like taste test it. But like even Slipknot, and I know that sounds very sacrilegious for me to be in a metal band and say it took a while for me to get to Slipknot, but it really did. Because I remember when I first got into heavy metal, I was like Master Puppets and Justice for All, just like straight like metal, the people's metal.
Right.
And the guy's like, well, if you don't like this, you don't like metal. So I was like, me and James Hetfield, we're going over here, It took me a while to like, wow, what's that one song? Dead Memories? That's pretty cool. Oh, it's that band with the masks. Oh, okay. And then I would like check out their back catalog, and I was like, these guys are actually really good. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, if it's being force fed to you, you're not going to eat it.
Yeah.
You have to like find it and digest it yourself. And then you can really like take it in like, okay, cool. Either I like this or I don't. But yeah, bands like Slipknot and even Korn, and Avenged Sevenfold, a lot of those type of bands. Because when I was younger, like a teenager, I was so gung-ho of like, blast beats, thrash metal, like the really intense stuff. I never took the chance to listen to those type of bands. Now I'm like, wow, okay, they write good songs. Okay, now I see what they're talking about. Yeah.
So do you like Slipknot better or Stone Sour?
They're about even. I mean, because I'm a diehard fan of both of them, but they both have great songs. I mean, you can't look at their catalog for each band and deny the fact that they have good songs. I mean, they really do. I don't put on a Slipknot record and listen to it front to back, but if someone's like, hey, do they have a good song? I would say absolutely. And both bands are like that, where you can pick out, hey, this is a well-written song, and you can show it. So both bands are awesome.
Way to stand up and pick a side, man. Yeah, that's it. Real good.
No, right? Yeah.
No.
Stone Sour. Sweet.
You mentioned corn is corn is one of those vegetables. If you name your band after a vegetable, I'm probably not going to like it. Corn, Smashing Pumpkins, any of those things, I'm not in.
Really?
Yeah, I know, right?
It's funny because people like see me and they're like, oh, extreme metal dudes. Smashing Pumpkins is actually one of my all-time favorite bands.
Well, it was nice having you on. So
it's funny, like we went from Cradle of Filth to like to sum you with the like what the hell all this happened. But it's true. I love that band. I love Smashing Pumpkins. I think Billy Corgan is a genius.
Wow.
I love their music.
Well, I guess it's a good thing they're not the Westfield Tomatoes, huh?
Tomatoes are fruit. I would listen to it.
So, I want to go back just a little bit. You were talking about your love affair with early music and Metallica specifically.
Yeah.
And I read a little bio blurb, and I'm not sure if it's true or not, but you somewhere it had said that was what influenced you was "And Justice for All" by Metallica. To
absolutely, man.
Yeah,
110%. And I'm going tomorrow night to see Metallica. Just to reconfirm that. Like, is this true? Like, put a double check beside it. Yeah.
Amazing.
Right. That's awesome. Well, what's interesting about that is that "And Justice for All" is one of those albums. As far as I'm concerned, it's one of those albums. It's one of my all-time favorite Metallica albums, and it's not what is usually the people's choice.
It's okay, so it has one on the record. It has one and like Blackened and like Dyer's Eve,
right?
But it's definitely a particular taste. And that's the best way to put it. It's kind of like Load and Reload or like anything like that. Like it's a particular taste. But I love it. Like I said, I was 12 years old and someone gave me "Injustice for All" for my birthday, my 12th birthday, and I was like, fuck cartoons. I'm playing metal, It's really how it went. But it's true. So keep in mind, like I'm listening to like, The Shortest Straw and shit like that. And someone's like, hey, check out, if you're 5'5", then I'm 6'6", and I was like, no, The Shortest Straw is cool for you,
You're that guy. I love it. So am I.
So you kind of took us back to your roots a little bit. Tell us who you were in high school.
Who was I in high school? I was the guy. I still am that same person who would always wear black or band shirts with long hair, and I would just listen to metal. And I would go home, play guitar, and I had like local metal bands that I would play in. And I remember having my parents sign me out of school early so I could like drive to Virginia or Florida to go play a show.
That's amazing.
I dig it.
That's
super
support right there. That's awesome.
It took them a while, at first they're like, our son's wearing a lot of black. What's going on with this? Think about it. Living in the Bible Belt, well, in today's time, the world is so much more progressive and accepting of whatever you want to do.
Right.
And I'm only 27, but like even when I was like 20, the world was completely different. As far as like people like, okay, cool. You want to wear that? Wear that. You want to dress like this? Cool. You want to be into these type of people? Do it. Whatever. And I'm very much a live and let live kind of guy. But when I first started out, my parents were kind of like, hey, like you're wearing a lot of black. What's up with this? And then like, oh, he wants to have a career. Okay, well, we might as well support him best we can, make a thumbs up.
Yeah.
Do they enjoy your music?
It's funny because like my parents didn't like metal at all. And then when I was like, hey, I'm playing in Baltimore, Maryland tonight. You want to come see me? And they'd like fly out and see us play. And they're like, okay, cool. Now we get it. So yeah, my mom, I love her. She, my parents own a restaurant, and she'll drive into like work, and she'll just be like blasting one of her CDs. Like,
I love it, man. That's awesome. All of a sudden, mom's wearing a lot of black, and I'm a little worried about you, mom.
You guys went from like Michael Bublé to like fucking what to us, so whatever.
That's great.
Eclectic.
I dig the fact that your parents are on board though, because we hear oftentimes that to get that support at home and to really drive, especially being a musician anymore, it's a tough life if you're trying to do it as a living. It really is.
Yeah.
And to get the support from home is huge, and it goes a long way because a lot of times it's just not there. It's mom, dad, or you better get a fucking job or get the hell out.
Well, I think the thing is, it's like anything. Like, say, like you want to be a musician. Say you want to be a pro sports player. Say you want to do anything. It's like parents are kind of like, at least in my, from what I can tell, is that like, and I would probably feel the same way. Where it's like, okay, cool, like support them or say, hey, cool, do that if you want to do it. But wait to see if it really kind of comes to fruition. That way, it kind of keeps it realistic. Is that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm with you.
We're not like, hey, I want to play basketball. You'll be the best. Like, and be like, okay, cool. Like, let's see what they can kind of assemble on their own and see what really the possibilities are. And then from there, okay, cool. Like, this is really kind of coming to fruition. Let's maybe try to support them. And when I say support, I don't mean financially, but just like, hey, like, you can do this if you want to. You can do anything you want to in life if you want to. Kind of one of those things of like, hey, look, chase your dreams because you have a chance at it. That type of support.
Absolutely. And that's so amazing. And not a lot of kids out there get that from their parents. So
really, I'm very thankful.
Yeah, absolutely.
Stephen, do you do that in the local music scene? Do you support the young and upcoming artists that are out there working hard in your area?
Totally, you have to. I mean, and even like I teach guitar lesson on Skype and FaceTime, and I have a lot of my students are young. I mean, they're like 12, 13, 14, 15 years old, if not younger. And they're like, hey, what can I do? And I'm like, hey, find some friends. Like if you see a guy wearing an Ozzy t-shirt, you should go talk to him. Like in a certain direction to kind of help them put the pieces together, because I wish I had someone like that at my, I didn't really have someone say, hey, look, find a guy wearing, a Slayer shirt, go talk to him. You might know a friend who's a drummer. I mean, I never had that. So, it's important to be supported because I view it this way. Whether you're friends with someone who's in a mega-sized celebrity band or if you're friends with someone who's just a friend of yours who also has a band, your success is their success and vice versa. Their success is yours because you're all there to support one another. There'll always be opportunities that you want everyone to succeed. I'm not one of those people who think in today's day and age that there's a table with only so many chairs there. Like, okay, nope, this is assigned seating. We don't have room for you. That's bullshit. I totally don't fucking believe in that. I'm a very big supporter of, hey, man, if you're doing something awesome, people will come to it and you should support one another, because success does not discriminate. Like everyone should have the opportunity for it if you work hard enough. That's my 2 cents on it.
I love that. Good for you, dude.
Success does not discriminate. Right there. I'm going to write that's the tagline for the show. That's awesome.
I love it.
I love that. Yeah.
We have to get a taste of it first, though.
I hear it doesn't discriminate, but I'll let you know, right? So.
You're talking into our wheelhouse because we're in far north California. Okay, we're at the other end of the state from where you're at, and we've been trying to work with the local bands and venues here, trying to grow a new metal scene up here, and we're starting to see the fruits of that. And some of the things that you're mentioning, you're talking about supporting the other bands. Everybody's in on this. Let's get everybody, because I like what you said. Their success is your success and vice versa. And I think that's so true.
Yeah.
And we're trying to get these bands to understand that around here as well. When you go to a gig and you're the opening band, don't pack your shit up and leave as soon as you're done with your set. You need to stick around and support. I think too often we see these bands that they think their self-worth is much higher than the people they're playing with. Because in LA, man, you guys are saturated with good bands down there. There really are a lot of good bands. I'm sure you see that firsthand.
Yeah. But one thing too, like I want to touch on what one of you guys have said is that, like, I remember coming up, if I didn't see a band sticking around to see the other band play, or if the headliner didn't come out 5 hours early to see all the bands play, I was like, oh, these guys are assholes. But it's important to do your part best you can, because I explained this to one of my guitar students on Skype. He opened up for like a headliner band that will remain nameless. And, he was like, man, these guys are jerks. They didn't come out and see the bands play. And I was like, well, hey, man, like, on tour, there's a lot of things you got to think about. You don't really know what's going on in their day. They might have press they have to do. They might be doing laundry. They might have someone going to Target to get groceries. Like, you have no idea what's going on. And I explained it to him. He's like, okay, yeah, I understand. I was like, a lot of times they kind of show up and then their free time, okay, cool, I have a minute to do something, is actually when they're on stage. So I was like, don't take it personal. It's just, you don't really know what's going on in their day, but that's why when I say, like, everyone should just support best they can, whether it's, if you're a headliner, check out the bands best you can that are open up for you. That way you can give them a shout out on stage, during your set, and it's actually honorable. And then if you're an opener, hey, stick around and see the other bands playing, because, chances are those guys watched you play, and they could be a friend, a fan, or a potential bandmate in the future. So, and it all just boils down to people just doing their part best they can, because it's all going to become one. Like, there's a yin and a yang to it,
Right. And networking for sure.
Exactly. Totally.
Well, let's get back to the new album. It seems like the response so far, the early response, and it did early, it's only 5 weeks in, has been really positive. What are you guys getting on your end?
It's been very positive, and we're super thankful for it, because obviously with having a new vocalist, you're ready for the people who to not like it just because of not liking it, you know?
Right.
But everyone's been really receptive, and it's bands have lineup changes all the time, and if it's good, it's good. If it's not, it's not. And we think it's great. We took the time to do our homework and assemble the best thing that we could, and really craft something that has integrity. And we're really thankful and overwhelmed by the positive response. I just mailed some CDs out to like Canada and Europe earlier this week, and I think just before I got on here, we had some more, stuff in our online store. So we're really thankful. Everyone's been really receptive and positive. So we can't wait to see what doors this opened. I mean, this record actually did better than the first record. The first record was on like Heatseeker, I think Heatseeker for Billboard and a couple other things. And this record just like totally surpassed that. I mean, and that was another thing too, is like, we don't want to release it and it'd be like, not do well, because that would not be a good look. So it did very well. It had multiple Billboard and iTunes charts, and we're really thankful. And we stand behind the music and we stand behind our fans. So it's all good stuff. We're very happy.
Yeah. You dropped the first single, I believe it was Famine. And I love that song. The only problem is I felt real hungry afterwards.
Yeah, right. Hey, why do I want to go to Chick-fil-A now? Yeah.
Actually, you guys did a little bit of a departure from what you did on the last album, that's great, because that shows growth, and a band should grow and your style changes. But I really like what you did here. You've got a lot of modern elements that you were able to put together in this album without oversaturating it and making a mishmash.
Oh, well, thanks a lot. And that's one thing that we were really thinking about. It's like, we didn't want it to be pigeonholed as like, okay, metal band X, so we're really happy. And, it's important to grow through writing. It's important to grow through music. So that's one thing that we were thinking about, but we didn't force, if that makes any sense. Because if you force it, it won't be real, and it will sound forced. Like, hey, like we made a decision to do blank.
Right.
That wasn't really the case. I mean, we thought about it like, hey, like, let's just write whatever comes out. And these were the colors that were on our palette, I should say,
It's amazing.
Writing process. So although I'm a guitarist in the band, Eric, who plays bass with us live, he's actually a guitarist and a hell of a songwriter. Like a lot of the songs on the record are ones that he brought to the table. Eric did like Taking the Fall, Your Salvation, Love to Hate, and a couple others, Constant Silence. He, we just got together, we would exchange ideas, or he would do something all on his own and bring it to me, and I'm like, this is awesome. Or I would do something all on my own. And we did a lot of pre-production ourselves. We all kind of did our homework on that. And then the band produced it ourselves. We worked with Rich Mauser at Mouse Health Studios in Altadena, California. And he mixed and mastered the record, but it was really an in-house project. It really was.
Yeah, that's amazing. A lot of bands are doing that nowadays, though.
Yeah, you can now, because you don't have the constraints of the big labels telling you have to work here, you have to do it this way.
Right.
Yeah, and the thing is, too, like, if you know what you want to achieve, you can, for the most part, make it happen. Ballpark. Mm-hmm. Today's technology. I mean, we even recorded all the vocals at Sean's studio. Sean had a studio where he was staying at the time, and we recorded all the vocals in his living room, in his studio stuff. Every vocal on that record was recorded where he was staying at the time, at his apartment, at his studio setup. So, you don't have to necessarily go to a huge, very financially expensive studio. I mean, you can, but in today's day and time, you can get a lot of accomplished beforehand on your own before you take it to that next, chain of command.
Yeah. So what would you say that is your biggest challenge in the music industry?
I think cutting through everything, because the internet made everything so accessible, which is great, because now every band in the world has a quote unquote chance of being discovered.
Right.
That said, it's harder to cut through the clutter. Like I can remember as a kid, watching like MTV or Headbangers Ball, and it's like, okay, cool. Like if we get to that, awesome. We've quote unquote made it. When nowadays it's because like the internet, if you have a Facebook page, you suddenly have a career. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, right. So,
yeah. No,
it's so true, bro.
Yeah.
It's so true.
Hey, go like our Facebook page and Instagram and all this other shit. Well, what do you sound like? Well, don't worry about it. We're coming out next year. like
Yeah.
build, and I don't really agree with that. I mean, of course, it's important to have a strong online presence, but like you have to have the band before anything else. That's my opinion.
Well, you have a product, right? I mean,
yeah. You're not gonna say, hey, buy this plate of food. It's gonna taste good, but go ahead and pay me $15 up front. No,
I totally get it. Yeah. We deal with it in what we do. It's very similar.
Exactly. So I think that, in today's day and age, it's because I don't want to say oversaturated. I just think it's saturated. I think, I don't know if there's a difference between saturated and oversaturated, but it's a lot, like the pond got bigger. The internet made the pond bigger. So you had room to swim.
Right.
But because of that, now everybody's swimming. So you gotta, find your stroke and roll with it. But it, that's my 2 cents on it.
Yeah, you definitely have to weed through the bands. We do that a lot here. We hear a lot of crap, and we hear a lot of good stuff. So yeah, definitely agree with you on that one.
And it's one of those things where like it should put a fire under your ass to go, hey, cool, you got to be good. Like if you really want to do this, and it boils back down to like when I moved from North Carolina to here at 22 years old, is like, if you want to do it, you got to do it. You can't like halfway commit. You can't half-ass it. Like you have to commit 120% and just do it. So moved to LA, met some people, put together a project, so on and so forth. It's the same way with being in the band. If you build it, they will come. The days of going out and sending this to everyone, hoping someone gets back to you, I don't really think those days necessarily exist the way they did. I mean, obviously, like if you have a product or something, like you send it to like people you work with, to see what they think about it. But the days of, hey, mass email everyone, the rule of numbers of mass email everyone your stuff and hopefully someone get back to you, no, because it's so saturated. It has to be now. If you build it, they'll come to you. Like you build the buzz, all that stuff. If you have to be ready for the touchdown, already doing it, and then whatever
awesome.
come to. Yeah, the days of, hey man, let's put together a demo. All right, we just got a deal. That's not happening anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
And we see that firsthand. So like, you can't be at one side of the football field saying, cool, we're going to find someone to help us carry this all the way to the finish line. Those days don't exist anymore. You have to already be there, 10 yards away from a touchdown saying, okay, we're going to touchdown. If you guys want some of this action, let us know. That's the way it has to be. So it puts more responsibility on us as an artist and as a business person to be more professional and really have something worthwhile.
Yeah, you nailed it with artist and business person.
Yeah.
Those two go hand in hand nowadays.
It's a business, our band's a business. Any band you listen to, Metallica, I mean, as we talked about earlier, that's a business. I mean, you guys.
And on the business side, what are you guys finding as the most effective tool that you're using in order to get the word out about your band? What is the most effective thing you guys are able to do?
Social media, but at the same time, it's like, this is the most effective, but it's the most cluttered. It's
right.
really weird. It's a strange language. Social media is the way to do it, but you have to have good content. Like, you can't just be like, okay, cool, random band photo, random whatever. It has to be like, hey, do we have something worth talking about? So say, I think yesterday, Spotify told us, hey, you had 920,000 listens this year. That's almost 1 million listeners, Cool. So you say that, hey, thank you to all of our fans for helping make this happen. Or, we released a new lyric video for a song called Taking the Fall off our record.
Right.
You have to have stuff that's engaging and worth talking about, not just, hey, like our page for the fuck of it, or hey, this and that. Cool, we got a bunch of numbers. Like, you have to have stuff that's engaging, because then people, they remember it. Like, hey, what was that band X that had, such and such content?
In that vein, do you guys think it's worthwhile to pay for the advertising on social media? In other words, are you guys into that at all?
Yep, you have to. When everything changed, when it's pay to play online marketing, you have to. It's the only way you can compete.
Right. It makes sense. We're seeing it too. I was just curious on your guys' end as the actual musicians, from your point, if that was actually an effective tool for you guys as well.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you don't really have a choice nowadays. With social media, I mean, I can remember when you would have something on social media and everyone would see it because of what the algorithms were. But I understand it when you have like 3 billion, at least minimum number of people on social media, you can't, you would never see it, because if it was all in real time to where most recent, it would just be like your eyes would stop long enough to see something.
Right.
So understand that it's a pain in the ass, but it's just the nature of the beast. It's just the way it goes nowadays. I mean, any other business, you know, say we're a grocery store or a clothing store, and we want people to hear about us, you got to pay to advertise. You know, it's just anything that's a business that has any type of commercial value, you got to pay. You know, you invest.
It takes money to make money, man. It's true today as it was, 100 years ago.
Absolutely. You know, Stephen, you are full of wisdom, and I just really appreciate you just like being vulnerable and like opening up to us, because we have a lot of bands that are, starting bands or bands who have just been grinding it out for a couple years, and I just think that a lot of your words will be helpful to them. So thank you.
Awesome. Totally. Yeah. I mean, I'm here to assist any way I can, best I can.
Yes.
Cool. Hey, on the new album, do you have a favorite song on there? Don't tell me they're all the same. They're all your children. They're all your babies. That's a bullshit. I get that every time, that answer.
Totally not, because even people who say that they like all their children, they're lying.
Yeah,
like,
I have 4 kids. I can tell you right now.
I'm the youngest of 3. I mean, we know who mom and dad like.
Beautiful, beautiful.
It changes because it's different for me, because I can remember working on these songs when there were demos, and then before they had vocals, and then when we had to rewrite stuff, and then this and that, and oh shit, all the fans like this. Like, I can remember distinctively not liking Love to Hate. I mean, it didn't click. And then when it came out, people were like, man, this is heavy. I think I like it now. You know, it's just different because I'm so close to it. Now, from a listener's aspect, I think one thing. From me playing a song, I think one thing. From me working on a song artistically, working with Sean and Eric to put it together, there's so many viewpoints. But these songs I really like. Love to Hate's great. I like Famine. W Maids are really cool. I don't have a favorite. I don't know. It depends on my mood. If someone's like, hey, dude, show me something that's heavy, I say, play this song. If someone says, hey, man,
I get it.
What's something? Yeah, it's like, hey, you like Metallica, but what kind of Metallica? You want the Fillers or Dyer's Eve? It's one of those things. But and that's a good problem to have. There's nothing wrong. I mean, a lot of days you see now is like, here's the single, and it's like grade A quality, and then the rest of the record is just kind of flub, like it's just filler, Right. And I remember when we were doing the record, me, Eric, and Sean, when we were in the studio writing everything, we're like, what's going to be the single? Which is a good problem to have.
Right.
There's no problem saying what's going to be the single. And obviously you're like, okay, well, All the Fallen's a really fucking cool song, but that's kind of long, so maybe not that one. But now we're back down to 9 other ones, so, but it was one of those things. So, and that's a good problem to have. And then, we came out with 4 singles from that because, again, a wonderful problem to have, So, back to the question, since
quit evading.
who's my baby?
Well, which one is your favorite to play?
Probably Famine.
There you go.
Okay.
Super demanding. I mean, that song is like fast. I think it's like at 220 BPMs, maybe. I mean, it's rolling. I'll pick 3, and they'll change tomorrow, so we'll have to do this tomorrow. I'll say Famine, Love to Hate, and Taking the Fall.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
At least you narrowed it down to 3. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times guys say, well, I can't really choose one. No, really. Honestly, they're all equally good in my eyes.
I always have the thing where we talk to artists, and sometimes we're on the same page, and sometimes I'm always picking that black sheep of a song. I really dig Masquerade.
Yeah.
Masquerade is a song that when we were putting it together, I was like, oh, I don't know. And then like Eric and Sean took the reins on that song and put it together, and I was like, that's fucking cool,
Yeah, it's got a vibe to it. It's kind of a standout song in my opinion.
Yeah. And it's funny because a lot of songs, when we're writing them, they stay pretty close to the original idea. Other songs get kind of rearranged, all that stuff, and it was one of their ideas to put the chords at the beginning as an intro, which we hadn't done in a song before, and it was their idea to do that. And I was like, okay, shit, that's cool.
Speaking of that, when you guys are doing, in the writing process and you're making the arrangements, is that a pretty collaborative effort, or are there, one or two chiefs?
It's both, because like I said, it's kind of like our motto or our mindset is, everyone's a team player, everyone's a team member, all 5 of us. But if it's not broke, don't fix it. If it sounds good, it sounds good. If it's missing something, cool, let's look at it. Let's see what we can't do. But, Eric will present stuff and I'm like, stamp, that's done. Like, it sounds amazing. I'll show the guys stuff and I'll say, hey guys, I'm not really sure about this part. What can we do here for the bridge? And, they'll interject and give me their 2 cents. And, we're all going for the same thing. So there's no egos. There's no, well, hey, here's my song. I want my song on the record. Hear me roll. There's none of that shit.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Because we've all been in those situations and it can definitely affect the quality of the whole record. So our thing is hey, man, best song quality is what's all about. It doesn't matter who writes it. If it's good, it's good. And fortunately, everyone contributes. So another good problem to have. So.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys do some pretty progressive stuff in there. Like, there's spots in some of the songs where the solo is going to be, and it's almost like you completely rearrange the song for a solo that was written for another song, but it completely fits in the song. What the hell's going on there? Like, you guys, I really think it's interesting to see a band come along that's not afraid to be progressive, but only selectively. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. Well, we're also musicians, so we don't want to play a couple chords, playing Jimmy Buffett songs. You know what I mean? So like, it's also, especially metal music. It's like you have to be a good musician, like a good player to play a lot of it. So I mean, I'm not saying our stuff is the hardest stuff ever, because it's not. But you definitely have to be good at your craft. For all of us. Like, I can't sing Sean's stuff. I can't play Dio's parts on drums. And then probably vice versa for all of us. But even what's the song "Constant Silence"? I mean, there's like a very significant time signature change in that. Like, it goes from 4/4 to 6/8, that. And then in the song "All the Fallen," I don't know. I think it's like 7/4. Then he does like a 5/4. I mean, but then at the end, our end game is, does this sound good? You listen to some bands and it sounds like just like an exercise, and we didn't want to do that. We Again, at the end of the day, is it a good song? That's the moral of the story.
Have you ever written a song and while you're writing, go, oh my God, this might be the most epic song we've ever written, and then taking it live to hear crickets? Because I could tell you right now, Evil and I are musicians before we got into this, right?
Yeah.
And I remember writing a song that it was my favorite song we did, and we were crushing it live, and I'm like, this is fucking epic. Yeah! Fuck yeah, we're killing it. And I hit this high note in with a big crescendo. Yeah! Just killing it. And then we finish, and then nothing.
It was because of that high note you hit.
Quite possibly. But it was a tough blow. It was humbling, though. And it made me understand that not everybody likes what I like. But yeah, and sometimes you'll write a song that you're really proud of, and then when you take it live and put it in front of other people, you don't get the response that you're really expecting. You ever have that happen?
I mean, there's definitely a correlation. Like, some songs translate well live, some songs don't, and vice versa. Some songs that you're like, the studio version might be cool, but then when you play it live, you're like, okay, this has to stay in the set. Like, there's just like an energy to it. And any band would tell you that. Any band would tell you that. A band our size, or again, going back to Metallica, or a band that size, it's like, who? Metallica. Like, you realize what, it's weird. It's an interesting experience, because, like, we'll put together stuff and say, hey, like, this would be a really good song live. And then also where you play it in the set. And the other thing too is that, like, how many people are familiar with the song too makes a huge difference. If they're singing along, if they're going, hey, or that kind of stuff. So there's definitely a process to, go about all that. It's interesting. It really is.
Yeah, absolutely. When you guys were going through the lineup change, how did you guys find Sean?
We were already having a tour that was, it was booked, and our former vocalist at the time, he was unavailable. And we had played with Sean a couple times at the Whiskey and ran into him at parties and stuff like that. And his name got thrown into the hat, and he sent us an MP3 recording of him singing "Build Your Thrones." And we're just like, "Cool, we'll take him."
That's cool.
Wow.
Easy done.
Absolutely.
We'll have one of those. And it just worked out. We toured across the whole country, and it's like, cool. We can live together for a month. That's also another really big concern, is that can you guys get along on the road?
Yeah.
And he's very business minded. He's got a good head on his shoulders, and it just clicked. We did audition a couple other people, and we would always be like, it's cool. And then when Sean came to the task, it was just like, yeah, done deal. And here we are. Here we are a year and a half later.
Right.
Yeah. Right. I mean, so we're all very thankful.
I want you to take me back a little here to first stepping foot on stage and that moment where you're like, shit is just real. Like, you're looking out at the crowd, you're getting ready to play for them. Have you ever had one of those in your music career?
A dozen, yeah, totally.
So what's that like?
It's a blur, I can remember we played in I think it was a PlayStation Theater in city, like Times Square, and we were the first of 4. If you ever go to see like a package tour during the bands, if you notice the lights get better.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, by design. Yeah, we know.
Yeah, like the first band's on stage, it's like homie with like a flashlight over them.
Yeah.
And by the time the headliner goes on, it's like a fucking Star Wars movie, Right. So I remember we were playing, and I'm like, this place holds like a couple thousand people. But, you can really only kind of see what's in front of you. Because, of course, from stage, like, you can see everything, but then you can't. Like, it's one or the other. And then the house lights, like, blinked. And I was like, ooh, that's a lot of people, and then the rest is all blur. But, it's one of those things where, like, I never would have imagined I would be where I'm at.
Yeah.
And so I'm really thankful for it. Like, every time something happens, I'm just happy. I'm thankful. I have a lot of gratitude. And it motivates me to try to do more, because every time you achieve something, whether it's big or small, with me or with you guys, it just reminds you that like anything is not only possible or probable, but it can happen. So if you stay at home, it definitely won't happen,
Yeah.
So,
yeah, very true.
I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, totally.
Is there anything that we didn't talk about today that you wanted to?
Any good movies you guys have seen lately?
Yeah, the new Queen movie. Did you see that?
Oh, man.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
All right. Glad you brought that up. So I'm a diehard Queen fan, right? Some things in the movie were historically inaccurate.
Yep.
So if you watch it from being like if you know more than We Will Rock You and Bohemian Rhapsody, okay, cool. But if you just go there only knowing like a couple songs and you want to see it for entertainment value, awesome fucking film. If you go there as a Queen fan, and you're like, that's bullshit. That was on a day.
Yeah, timelines were fucked up. Yeah.
Yeah, some of the things I was just like, because I'm watching it. Me and my girlfriend went and watched it. She's like, oh, this is awesome. I'm like, that's horseshit. I was like, that record came out in 1977, not 1980 fucking 2.
Thank you.
Like,
yes.
I was that guy, and of course, so leave it to me to ruin everything. But good movie. If you're a diehard Queen fan, you'll scratch your head. But then you realize it's like Titanic. You can't just be like, here's a ship, it sinks. Like, you gotta dramatize it. You gotta add some fluff to it. So I get it. Awesome movie. Regardless, I would recommend anyone to check it out, whether you're a Queen fan or not. If you want entertainment, just go check it out.
Yeah, it was good.
My wife, who's not a fan of that band, really much more than We Will Rock You. My wife's totally not what I am, just so you know. But she enjoyed the hell out of it, and I think the homage they played to Freddie in that is worth seeing the movie.
Totally. What was the guy's name that played it? I
don't know, but I saw him in another movie recently, and he was good as well.
But he did a great job.
Yeah.
Yeah, my girlfriend watches that show, Mr. Robot. He was in that. Damn, she can tell me his name. He portrayed him perfectly. I will say this though, and aside from the historical inaccuracies, I really wish it was a little more of a Queen film rather than a Freddie film.
I gotcha. Yeah.
You know, because I really felt like Roger Taylor, Brian May, and John Deacon, like, they weren't even really supportive roles. Like, they were just kind of like, you know, secondary characters in the film when they had so much to do with the movie. I mean, if you ever listen to like the Queen records, that high harmony that you hear in everything has always been the drummer, you know, always. And, you know, I didn't know that until like I watched documentaries and all that stuff too. And, you know, I don't know. I think, but it's anything you watch, you'd be like, oh, I wish they did this different. Like if you watch the Star Wars movies, I mean, I'm not a fan of the new ones, but you know,
nor I.
yeah. So, like I said, check it out. You know,
what would a Westfield Massacre movie look like? Who would play you?
Who would play me? Steve Buscemi.
Come on.
I don't think we have enough material for a movie. I don't think we do.
You know, we'd fluff it up. We'd make it dramatic. We could do this.
In that case, then we'll get like, what's one of the, I don't watch a lot of movies. Like, what's one of the new, like, Hollywood, like, heartthrob dudes? I'll have him play me. We'll fluff it up.
I don't know either.
I'll tell you what. We'll just have Evil here step in and be the actor to play you.
Oh, God.
Yeah. But like, and now as Stephen Brewer.
No, I got it.
What?
Fucking James Franco.
There you go.
Yeah.
I think I could see Franco playing him.
Yeah.
I can see that. Yeah. I mean,
him or Dave Chappelle. That's one or the other.
Dave Chappelle. You're so stupid. All right. Hey, Steven, let's tell everybody how they can connect with Westfield Massacre, connect with you, find your music, stream it, play it, buy it, and where they can come see you play live.
Okay, so if you have the internet, you can find us. It's just that simple. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, iTunes, any of that stuff. Yes, just type in Westfield Massacre. You can check out our official website at westfieldmassacreband.com. And, you know, all tour dates or music or any information will be on our social media or our official website. So check us out, follow us on Spotify and all that good stuff.
I almost forgot, you were talking about it a little bit earlier, but your merch. You guys have killer looking merch. I actually made a comment the other day about the baseball tees, how cool those look.
I responded, yeah.
I saw that. Those are awesome. So who's doing all your merch? Do you guys design all that in-house?
Yeah, it's all in-house. You know, we have like a couple of friends of ours, like a buddy of ours from Michigan, Anthony. He did the like the LA logo one and stuff like that. We're actually having a sale right now. So all of December, all merch is 25% off. So CDs, flags, T-shirts, the baseball shirt, all 25% off. So and all the CDs are signed. Let's see if I have one right here. There you go. So these are all autographed, which is pretty snazzy.
Yeah.
So,
that's pretty amazing because I didn't think you guys could write.
Hey, we're working on it.
Good. So get over there and get some Westfield Massacre merch. It is really good looking stuff. If you haven't checked it out, it's awesome. They've got really good style. So
baseball tees is interesting. Are you guys sports fans at all?
I think Eric likes football and stuff like that, but I couldn't tell you. The only reason I know anything about hockey is because of the fucking movie Mighty Ducks. Like, well, I'm like, I've seen The Longest Yard. You know,
Oh my God. Funny.
That's badass. Yeah, so get over there, check out their merch. Tell them that Honest Brutality sent you. Once again, our guest has been Stephen Brewer from Westfield Massacre. Stephen, thank you so much for being a part of Honest Brutality and doing the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, hopefully you had a good time, bud.
I did. We'll have to do it again soon.
Well, that was fun.
Hell yeah, that was.
Absolutely, man. I was stoked to have him on. Like I said, we've been chasing him for, a year and a half or so.
Yeah, and they're one of those bands that are on the cusp of really being big, too.
I think so.
And I can see why. Obviously, there's the talent there, but, you know, he is keen. He is spot on. And just looking at the band from a business model standpoint, there are a lot of bands out there that don't do that nowadays. And, you know, they're irrelevant.
Yeah, he's one of those guys, too, that's almost too smart for our show. Makes us look bad.
He's too smart for you.
Sometimes it hurts.
They've been out there working really, really hard. I meant what I said during the conversation. And their new album, Salvation, is really worth a look.
Musically, it's really strong. And the way Sean comes through in the vocals, I think he's a perfect fit for the band. I really do.
Too, because they actually are able to blend that melodic, pretty singing with the heavy, deep, growly, screamy stuff.
Yeah.
But it's not... it's not blasé. It's not contrite. It's not like everybody else is doing. It just works.
Yeah.
Yep. It's strong.
It's refreshing.
It's really strong.
It is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks again for listening to Honest Brutality. Check us out on all of our socials. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Come on over to honestbrutality.com and check out all things Honest Brutality all of the time. Do us a favor, wherever you're listening to the podcast, give us a rating and review. It really helps us out. We're not sure why, but we appreciate it. You can also give us a call if you'd like.
Yeah, give us a call, 530-962-0411. Again, that's 530-962-0411.
And check us out on Rock Rage Radio. We have 2 shows over there. One on Saturday, 2 hours of fun, mayhem, madness, and music. And another show on Tuesday nights.
Yeah, Center Stage with Honest Brutality, where we talk to bands and we play their music right here just for you. And you're welcome.
Be good people, take care of one another, and most importantly, stay metal!
Stay metal.
What's up, everyone? This is Steven from Westfield Massacre. You're listening to our new single, Love to Hate, from our new record, Salvation, on Honest Brutality.